Every customer has their own journey. So I don't think necessarily comparing one business to another is particularly helpful, but I would say that each business in its industry has their own challenges. For example, pharmaceutical has specific challenges, and so does financial, with their own overlapping regulations. If you're an international business, you've got international considerations as well that you have to take into account, operating maybe inside of Europe or maybe even outside of Europe. So I think it's very difficult, maybe not necessarily helpful, to compare one business to another at this stage. However, what I would say is that all organizations face a number of similar challenges. That is identifying their data inventory, the assets that they've got, data flow mapping, really understanding what data they have, how it moves throughout the organization, and the lawful basis for holding it. And doing that is just, I know it's kind of basic stuff, but it's actually something that's incredibly important to do. And businesses are still doing it. And it's important because without this, actually doing everything else is A, difficult to do, B, more expensive. So how can we do a data protection impact assessment if we don't know what data we're processing? How can we report a data breach if we're not sure what data has been involved in that processing? So I think there's still a lot of work to be done on the basics. Training continues, continually ensuring not just that the staff and the employees as a whole have been trained on understanding what the regulation means to them inside the organization, but also to the people that are responsible for processing data. Okay, some people call them subject matter experts or data asset managers, but whatever their name is, these are the people whose job it is to actually make decisions on processing personal data. And those individuals, they need to have a high level of training than necessarily everybody else. So we're doing a lot of work like that with organizations, helping organizations with their data protection impact assessments, setting up the process, the workflow models, using compliance systems for doing that, training everybody on what it means to do a risk assessment, how that is going to work inside their organization and who the roles are and who the actors are and going to be involved in what effectively is a cross-functional activity. So data protection impact assessments are key, training is key, data inventory and data flow mapping is incredibly important because it's the basis for making lots of other decisions. And I think most organizations, regardless of their industry, are all still tackling at some level those elements.